And is that where your 5 Ps come in?
Yeah, and I'll take you through all of those. And then there's the entrepreneurial pyramid, which opens you up to this whole other world of opportunities, as well as side hustles, and the 2 types of opportunities that everyone needs to know about.
I want to go through all of that.
Let's do it. Yeah, so the 5 Ps is we have to learn to pitch, right? The entrepreneur journey is a journey of 1,000 pitches. One way or another, you're either going to pitch an average pitch and end up with nothing, or you pitch a phenomenal pitch and end up with a $10 to $100 million business. If you're Elon Musk, you'll end up pitching your way to Mars, right? But the entrepreneur journey is all about pitching. So we've got to have a great way of pitching the business so people are excited. Right? I've seen Mark Zuckerberg do hundreds of pitches over the last 20 years for Facebook and new features. Steve Jobs used to do it on stage, but then the video went out. So you can do it to video, you can do it to camera, you can do it on a podcast, you can do it live, you can do it one-to-one, you can do it to groups, but you have to learn how to be able to pitch an idea, get people excited about something through your words. Entrepreneurs and founders, they are the spokesperson for their business. They have to be able to be good at pitching. The second thing is publishing content, publishing videos, publishing podcasts, publishing a book, publishing on LinkedIn, right? So it's essentially taking the elements of a pitch, but putting into different formats. 7-Eleven-4 stuff. Mm-hmm. The third element is the productization, the product ecosystem. Too many people sell time and skills. They have to sell intellectual property, media, data, software, or productized services, or they have to have a scalable product, something that doesn't require their time and effort in order to sell it again and again. Because your time and effort as a founder has to be on the demand side, not the supply side. So we've got to productize. Raising profile is the next one. So having your social media platforms, doing some live events, winning some awards, getting on traditional media or third-party platforms, all of that is your profile. And then the next one, once you've done all of that, is doing your first joint ventures and partnerships. So big business happens when you can find the right partners. So you might need a capital partner for investment, or you might need a distribution partner for sales. You might need a product partner, someone who actually partners to incorporate something that they do into your product. So packaging up through partnerships. Mm-hmm. So I always focus people on pitching, publishing, product profile, partnerships. That's the role of the founder. We call that the key person of influence role. The personal brand feels like this weird thing, or it feels like branding, or it feels like this kind of like, I've got to, get up every day and photograph my breakfast and, all that sort of stuff. But actually, if we just focus on pitch, publish, product profile, partnership, most people who are sensible people with successful businesses, they say, oh, that makes sense. I like all of those things.
Yeah, personal branding has got a bit of a rap, isn't it? A bit of a stigma.
The goal is not to be an influencer, to be a key person of influence, and there's a difference.
And I think there's different types of personal branding, and the best, most effective type of personal branding that I've seen is what I call idea promotion, mm-hmm. where you're promoting your ideas to the world, maybe in a particular niche or industry, but it's all about, here are my ideas. And you can do that as well, obviously through books and through podcast appearances and stuff. But there are other types of promotion. So some people do deficiency promotion. Here are all the ways that I'm flawed. And they build a brand around that.
Well, the one people most object to is self-promotion.
Self-promotion, which is, here's how great I am.
Look at me, this is my lifestyle, this is my car, this is my abs.
Yeah.
Here's my dinner, here's my girlfriend, my boyfriend, right? So all of that sort of stuff is self-promotion. That's narcissistic. Mm-hmm. And that's associated more with an influencer. A key person of influence is operating within a high-value niche, and they're idea promoting. They're saying, here's the big insights that you need. Here's the data that you should pay attention to. Here's the problem as I see it, and here's some nuances around the problem. Here's the solution or outcome that's achievable, and here's how you get to that outcome. Mm. So they're basically, it's part thought leader, but also part entrepreneur. You don't need a huge following for this. Influencers notoriously can't sell stuff. Many influencers have 1 million followers, and it turns out they can't sell hoodies. Very, very difficult to get anything sold. People look at them as entertainers, but they don't really look at them as thought leaders or, someone who's directing serious spend. A key person of influence might have 5,000 or 10,000 followers, but when they say this is the thing to buy, everyone buys it. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're going for that.
And can anyone do that?
Anyone can start. I mean, I've been working on this for 15 years with 5,500 companies. We've got single mums with children who have special needs, who have gone from struggling to multi-million businesses. We've got people who had been stuck at 5 people for 10 years and then they go to 50 people. We've got people in 50 different industries, from real estate to dentistry to medicine to IT services. So like the world is open at the moment. Every single industry has 1,000 different micro niches. Every micro niche needs a key person of influence or 2. Every micro niche can have a book. When we were stuck in geography, there was no point to doing all of this because you only had a 5-mile radius or 10-mile radius anyway. But now we can reach 1.5 billion English speakers online. We can reach 70% of the world on fast internet. Your tiny little micro niche could be extremely valuable to 35 people on the planet who each happily pay $100,000 a year. So we live in this world where the micro niches are incredibly valuable. Every industry has 1,000 micro niches. Every micro niche needs a key person of influence or 2. There's absolutely no reason why, and this is where the economy's headed. So there's no reason why a lot of people can't do this. Can everyone do it? I don't know if everyone can do it, but a lot of people can definitely do it.
So what do you think is maybe the subject or question that I haven't asked at this point in the conversation that people will be sat at home thinking?
There's one last thing that I think we should talk about. If someone's feeling frustrated, stuck, or overwhelmed, there's the one thing that knocks out everything else for cutting through problems or cutting through things that get in the way. And that is this idea called environment dictates performance. Environment dictates performance. And what that basically means is that we behave according to the environments that we show up in. So if you are in an environment where nobody's doing this stuff, it's going to feel impossible. If you're in an environment where everybody's doing this stuff, it's going to feel effortless. If you're in an environment where everyone talks about how money's evil, you're never going to make any money. If you're in an environment where everyone sees money as just a tool, right, you're going to make a ton of money. Many years ago, when I was in my early 20s, someone suggested that I go to dancing classes, and I thought, this is ridiculous. Why? Like, I can't dance and I'll never be able to dance, and dancing's weird. I went to a dance class, and in that environment, it was normal to learn dancing, and within 3 lessons, I was dancing really well. I enjoyed it. I did 3 years of dance classes. I got really good at it, and it was one of my favorite places to show up. But nothing would have happened unless I made the commitment to get into a different environment. So the final thing to talk about is that if any of this feels really hard or really difficult, for me, I feel effortless because I'm surrounded by people who live this way. Every single one of my friends is scaling a business and a personal brand. But if you're not in that environment, it's going to feel really weird and foreign. So the easiest thing people could try, just simply try the idea of changing environments immediately by doing a few following things. If you feel stuck, find the highest place that you can get to, physically the highest. Go to the top floor restaurant in your town. Go to a place that is like an office that has a foyer that overlooks the whole city. Do whatever you can to go high up, and then see how the problem feels when you're actually high up looking out to the horizon. Just that change of environment will give you new ideas. Go and talk to someone who you haven't talked to in a while, who's 2, 3, 4 steps ahead of you, but meet them in an opulent hotel, right? Anyone can go sit in a hotel foyer of a 5-star hotel. Go and meet for coffee in a 5-star hotel foyer with someone who's 3 or 4 steps ahead of you. Suddenly you're going to feel very, very different. Enroll yourself onto a course where everyone's learning the same thing that you're learning, and that environment means that it's normal. Like, let's say you're afraid of public speaking. Enroll yourself in a public speaking course. Everyone's going through the process of public speaking. Suddenly it feels like pretty normal. Enroll into an entrepreneur accelerator. Everyone's an entrepreneur in there. Suddenly it feels very normal to be scaling a business. So environment dictates performance is the big thing that changes everything. Pay attention to environment.